welcome back to another episode of DM DIY. We finally broke ground, so this is a historic moment for DM DIY. I marked everything out on the property, where things are going to go, and the property lines, all that. I was going to get it surveyed until the surveyor told me for 4 properties it was going to cost like $1,200, so I promptly said no thank you. And then I went over to like my neighbor's property and measured out the dimensions of his property so I would know what mine were, you know, next to it. Kind of figured everything out that way. So yeah, we got everything marked out. I got 5-foot easements and you know, 25 feet from the roadway, all that good stuff. And I started digging irrigation channels between the easement and the property line. And what that's going to do is when we do end up building and pouring a slab or piers or whatever, so the soil here is, I think it's like called expandable soil or something, clay with a lot of organic matter in it that fluctuates up and down. I think up to 3 inches. That's what my neighbor said is around here. But yeah, you know, if you pour a slab on that, it will eventually have foundation issues if it's not irrigated properly, because all that water will just sit around and then dry out, and you know, over the years it just moves like this, bouncing your house up and down. So what I'm doing is digging these irrigation channels. That way the water will seep out and permeate through into those channels and sink down to the bottom of my property, where it can evaporate and, you know, go about its business. So, and I figured, you know, water already kind of collects down there anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and dig a pond down there, right? Maybe put some fish in it, I don't know. Plant some cool, you know, some lily pads or something. It'll be a good time. And all this extra water will just go down to there, the pond, you know, so 2 birds, 1 stone. You know, we like that kind of thinking here. And oh wait, you haven't even heard this. The extra dirt from the irrigation channel is going to level out where the slab is going to go for the shed and the driveway actually too. I might use it to fill in some spots for the driveway and the house too. We got the house marked out as well. So what is that, 3 birds, 1 stone, 4? I don't even, can't even, a flock. 1 stone, 1 flock, right? We're also going to be doing a review on the Ohio Steel 15 cubic feet like hybrid dump cart, right? I bought one from Tractor Supply Co. And I'm going to go ahead and use it, get some serious use out of this before I say anything about it, but so far it's looking good. Anyway, I bought it from, you know, Tractor Supply Co. and they had it pre-built. I ordered it last night and this morning it was ready. Made, tires aired up. So hats off to Tractor Supply Co. for that. That was incredible. I was worried none of the stores had it in store. You know, I was like, oh, because, you know, I like just going and grabbing it and being done with it. But I really wanted this dump cart. It looked to be the best out of all the options and the most sturdy, and just everything I wanted. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy it, and, you know, however long it takes, whatever. One day, $329 plus tax. I believe it was like $357 or something. So yeah, and we got that over there in the corner. You can see it with the Troy-built mower, and the Troy-built mower, believe it or not, I got for like $350. So that's a good $600 get up right there. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and keep digging. You see we got the first little tiny pile there. We're gonna keep digging and we'll let you know how this goes. So this here marks the very corner of my property, and this here marks the 5-foot easement. And I already dug, I'd say about, you know, a shovel's head depth all the way down here, maybe 45, 40 feet, and got real tired, but this is going to do very wonderful things. I don't know exactly what the slope is of this property, but I mean, you can kind of see it. It goes all the way down there, all the way along to that fence. And this is just really going to help drainage with the driveway. See, the driveway is going to be directly to the right of this 5-foot easement. I'm going to have a fence there too, but you know, somewhere along there, we're going to have the driveway. And it's going to be a really big slab, you know. We might do it in sections, of course, but I don't want water, especially because the neighbor's property right here is higher up than mine. All the water is going to be going from their property over to mine. So I'm going to dig this deeper and wider, but we're starting out, and it it's just going to do great things for the property, and I get all this free dirt. The only really bad thing I can see about this would be the fact that the dirt has a lot of organic material, and I'm building directly on top of that. I'm getting all the dirt with a lot of organic material, piling it up, and putting a slab on it, and that's probably not going to, you know, fare too well, I don't think. But if I let the dirt sit for a little while and really settle, and all the organic material decay and shrink, I don't think it'll be a problem. And kind of tamp it down as well. It's gonna be great. So I got a lot of use in with this Ohio Steel dump cart, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you it in action, and also give you a walk around and tell you what I like and what I don't like about it. So here's the dump cart. $327. Really nice, high quality. There's no skimping here. I would say probably, I haven't tried any other dump carts other than, like, you know, your run-of-the-mill radio flyer wagon would probably be the closest thing I've owned to this. I guess I know John Deere makes a dump cart, and it looks really similar, and I'm sure it's of similar quality as well. John Deere's, you know, pretty known for that. But $500 for that one, and you know, and it's green too. Looks kind of ugly. This is a lot better, and this definitely can and will be used for an ATV when I do get one. I mean, yeah, everything about it's really nice except one thing, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But it's got clearance, so if you're driving through a lot of grass, you're not picking up, you know, weeds and stuff. Pretty good amount of clearance. I'd say up to my elbow's worth, you know, so in arms, a forearm, a foot and a half, you know, something like that. It's got one of those little hinges on it that is for like a lawnmower, and a really nice release, release pedal. It's got like a textured, almost like, you know, like that diamond plate kind of texture on there, and you just push it down, and then you're able to pop this off, boom, dump your load. Put it back, you just clip it back, you know, and everything's hunky-dory. Now you can also swivel it, so if you want to rotate, you know, and dump to your side, you can, or the other side as well. It's not too heavy. I'd say probably around 80 pounds. I put it in my back of my truck, no problem. I think this would be great. We live right next to the lake, or the property's right next to the lake, so you know, I can go take it down to the boat ramp at the boat dock with all the fishing gear and whatever, you know, maybe put somebody in the back, you know, have them cruising back there. Real cool in that sense, you know. I don't have to take the truck down there. Just take the lawnmower. Real nice tires, real solid tires. They came aired up. I don't know what PSI to put them on. You know, Tractor Supply Co. shout out for just being awesome and having this thing ready to go for me. Then the day before, or the day after, I bought it, you know, so that was really cool. But yeah, I mean, you could go hunting with this thing, put it on the, you know, put your ATV, with your ATV, you could put all your hunting gear and maybe even throw a deer in there or something, you know. Or I'm sure you can modify it, make a little blind out of it. That'd be really interesting to see someone do. Put like a chair in it, and then, you know, it's got little slits where you can like stick some wood, so you can put some you know, some sort of contraption, make a little blind, and get up in there and you know, just set up. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so the one thing I don't like about this, now it's gonna have to be when I'm dumping, and I'll show you as well when I get a load in it. I'll dump, and then so I'll dump my load, you know, boom, everything flies out, and a lot of material will stay right around here. And what that ends up, you know, what I end up having to do is kind of get my shovel in there and get in awkward angles and throw all that out of there. I'm not a big fan of that. And if you're working with like a steeper angle, you know, if you're dumping downhill, you could probably get, you know, just about all the material out of there. But you know, I'm just on a tiny slope, so yeah, I'm having trouble. I am dumping though where we're gonna put the shed slab I'm getting that all evened out and everything. I don't have a level with me or a laser level or anything like that, but kind of eyeballing it. I can tell it's real low in this corner, so I'm throwing a lot of material. I'll end up spreading it out later. But yeah, you know, so far 15 cubic feet. That's pretty serious. You could do a lot of things with that. I'm sure it'd be great for a lot of different things: wood chips, gravel, all that. And the soil is wet too. I should point that out. That may definitely be why it's having a little bit of trouble getting all of it out of there, because it's kind of clumping together. So, you know, I'm sure if it was dry and lighter for that matter, I could probably just, you know, kind of throw it all out, no problem. But what I've been doing when the dump cart has that excess material is I've been pushing it down, and you know, it takes some force because of all that weight on the backside, and then just scooping it out like this, going in there, you know, grabbing all the loose material and throwing it out. And I think that works pretty good. And I think the way to beat it with having the material in there, you have like the same amount of material every load stuck in the edge. So what I would suggest doing is piling it up as high as you possibly can and then dumping it. And what that's going to do is you're going to have to scoop out remnants less, essentially. You know, instead of doing it 2 dump loads and having that excess material, you could get 1 dump load and dump the excess material in there. So you're kind of making, you know, more bang for your buck or whatever. If you get what I'm saying. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous. So like 1,250 pounds can go into this thing. That's a lot of dirt, a whole lot of dirt. You know, yay high. Why make it go? You know, why only fill it up right here when you could get a big mountain in there, dump it, all that's gonna fall out, and then you only have that remnant. You know, so that's my thought on it. Not too big of a deal, but definitely, you know, I wish. I don't even know if like you can make that better with the ergonomics or whatever of it. I'm trying to think if there would be any way to maybe like raising it up higher so when it dumps. But then you know you got topsy-turvy issues of it flying around when you're driving fast. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you have a dump cart and if yours also has trouble getting that excess material out of there. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and dig, and I'll show you this back-breaking labor. It's funny. It's digging ditches is every mom's worst nightmare for their son or daughter, for that matter. You know, I went to college and I'm still digging ditches. So how did that work out? I don't know. Guess it's because I'm a cheapskate and I do everything myself. There's a lot of mimosa roots from a mimosa tree down the way that blows in here. A bunch of little mimosa trees took root and they are hard to dig up. Real tough root. Welcome back. You may notice it got a little bit cloudier out. I ended up eating lunch and then promptly getting very sleepy, so I went home and here we are roughly 20 hours later. It's a lot colder out today and a lot more quiet, you know. Both of these are probably good things, being that I'm doing intensive physical activity. We're digging this rut and we're gonna dig it deep. Now I already explained kind of why I'm doing it, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward and let y'all just enjoy the fruits of my labor. Right? I'm gonna get as far down as I can before I start huffing and puffing. So we got a little helper today as well.
No.
Lindsay's helping me dig, so that's good. We're gonna get it done even faster. Okay, so we had a very big rain last night, and I didn't quite finish the irrigation channel on this left side of the property here. However, the proof of concept has been proved. It works. Check this out. All the water is draining from both sides of the property. Well, I guess their property too, and going downstream here. You might even be able to see it. Like, obviously it's real lumpy and it isn't smoothed out yet, but the soil is that's relatively dry. That's not moving. I'm not sinking or anything. But the lower we go, the muddier it gets, of course. You can see here the water flowing, going down. Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. So let's show you down here, and look at this. You see where the slope goes down, and all that water sink into the middle. The deeper we dig this, the more that will all flow and go downstream. So, look at this. Another reason why roots are really good, and you generally don't want to dig them up. They hold in all that mud, and look at this. Oh, yeesh, that's not good. Yep, check it out. All the water is flowing, and where is it flowing from? Well, it's flowing off of my area where the slab's going to be. So this is really, really, really perfect. Look at it all flowing down. It worked, It's all draining. So that's good news. And look over here. Uh-oh. This isn't good. No, just kidding. It's not that bad. But, I mean, yeah, look at this. This is Swamp City. We really need some irrigation here. Just complete pools over here. And this is on the, the bottom of the property. But, I mean, this is a problem, and I'm sure just about anyone who buys a piece of property cheap is going to have to deal with stuff like this, Whether it be, trash on the property, or whether it be trash on the property, or, like poor irrigation, right? So the expensive ones have all this laid out and figured out already. Look, somebody was doing donuts on my property a long time ago. Yeah, a lot of the more expensive pieces of property already have this kind of stuff figured out and done, but we, on the other hand, are not so lucky. Look at that. We broke up the dirt here, but never took it out because, we were stopping, but that's really deep. That's a lot of water. And, once we do dig a pond down there, it's all going to go down there and settle in the pond. And then, truthfully, if I need to, what I can do is, look at that. Wow. Truthfully, what I can do if I need to is just get a pump and, what do they call it, a sump pump or whatever, and pump it from my property in that pond where it's all going to collect over into the actual irrigation channel along the roadway where it can filter into the lake. So that's the most probable thing that's going to happen. However, we'll see. Maybe it'll pull here and then drain out and then go about its way or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, we got a lot of work to do. We're going to keep digging in the mud, in the rain, in the cold, but the soil is really soft right now because it's so wet, and it makes it a lot easier to dig. It makes it a lot harder to get out of the dump cart. I don't even know if I can take the dump cart around here. It's so muddy, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. So took a little break here. We've gone quite some ways. This water that's standing here really demonstrates the slope of this property, because as you know, water, the best level ever invented. So it goes about 30 feet back, and then we have about a foot of dirt above the water. So that would lead us to believe that right here we have a slope of 1/30. So that's interesting to note. about 7 feet of elevation change between the front and the back of my property. Now, I didn't want to dig this out right here, as you can see, because all this water would be over here, and I would be fighting it as I'm digging. And I'm already fighting all this water, but this is a whole lot less than what's up there. This is real shallow, you know, so, and I might even do another break and then keep digging as well. It almost looks like this kind of goes up in elevation, though, how it's, well, no, it's still pretty wet, but anyway, yeah, so we're gonna dig it out and then maybe get started on the pond too. I'm not sure. Look how dry it got up there, though. Do you see that? There's hardly any water up there, so that's great news. That means, and this is a couple hours later, but yeah, you know, this is definitely great news. Look at it up there. It's just not much water left. We still got a bunch over here, but you know, all that muck and everything's holding it. So yeah, I'm gonna set it up and let y'all watch me dig this out. Still working great, the Ohio Steel. I will say, when I'm dumping it, the mud and dirt fly out a lot better. I can just scoop it right out, you know. So too much moisture and you end up getting it out well. Too little moisture when the dirt's real dry and you end up getting it out real well. If it's in that in-between stage is when it's real difficult to get out. Getting good traction, believe it or not. Getting real good traction, believe it or not. So that's really nice. I got stuck a couple times, but not nearly as bad as I was getting that, you know. I guess I just didn't know how to use it properly, right? First time I really ever towed anything with the lawnmower, so, you know, learning curve. Anyway. You can see here, this dirt really isn't all that wet deep inside. I mean, it's got moisture, but it's not, like, thoroughly soaked. So I'm going to go ahead and do another break right here. That water is just annoying. It's real hard to tell how level I'm getting. So yeah, we're going to do another break. I'm about need to make a load as well. I figured out that doing smaller loads definitely helps. It just takes a lot of weight off the back tires. So if you do get stuck, you can actually do something about it rather than having to dump the whole load and then you know, scoop everything out, move it around, and then put everything back in, you know. So I was wrong about before, you know, putting massive loads into that thing. Another rock. I've been collecting all the rocks, or throwing them up, you know, on the higher end of the property, and I'm planning on using them for the pond, maybe like around the pond or something. Having natural rocks around the landscaping would look beautiful and retain a lot of the water better, you know. You can tell, obviously, we don't have too big of a problem of, you know, things draining, but having rocks around it will aid the clay in retaining all that water in the pond. And we can even use the pond for watering the orchard and the garden as well. Why would we use city water that's been chlorinated and devoid of any minerals and nutrients when we can use this incredible nutrient-dense compost tea? It might as well be, right? With all this runoff from the mulch. Two birds, one stone. We like that here at DHAM DIY. You get a beautiful pond, and you get water for your garden and orchard. And that's fertilizer too. And you get to use the soil from the garden, or from the, I'm sorry, I'm tired. You get to use the soil as well from that pond you're digging to aid in construction of your home. And if, you know, Y2K ever happens and, you know, Armageddon or something, we got water. We have a source of water on the property. Right, rather than having to, you know, go to the lake or something. So that's always nice, you know. Or in an emergency situation, let's say if you know, something happens, we'll use the Berkey filter, Berkey tower, and put some of that pond water in there and drink it right up. Okay, so we did quite a lot more digging. You can see we started probably right over there today and dug, you know, all this here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up these two channels. What was happening, we had all that water collecting over here, and I was digging, and you know, I said, no, I don't want to fight all this water the whole time, so I just skipped a little bit and then kept digging again, and this filled up too. So now we have double water. So we're gonna break that. Actually, we'll probably break this first channel, and then we'll break this one after, and just let all this water flow on down. And let's go ahead and show you real quick where the slab for the shed's gonna go. We already got a lot of dirt over here now. Pretty significant amount. And it is sloppy, but you know. So there's that corner, the 20 by 20 area. I'd say we got about half it, and that's the lower half. So this shouldn't be too difficult here at all. And this does need to settle. I mean, this especially, but over here in some spots, you know, you can really sink in like that. But then over here, you know, it's really compact already. So we're doing good. Let's go ahead and break these channels.
Woohoo! Release the Kraken!
A lot of water.
That's so satisfying.
It's gonna be hot water in a little bit.
Wow. That was a lot of water. Very deep, too.
Getting deep?
Yeah.
lot of water. Wow. Oh, it's real deep, huh? So yeah, all this right here is water that we prevented from being out in our property. You know, running over it and stepping on it and turning it to complete mud pudding, you know. So I'd rather have it over here in the corner than, you know, and I guess once we have a pond, you know, it'll be real nice. But for right now, this is where it's going to stay till we can come back out here. It's really cold. It was raining all day. It's windy. And we're tired. But yeah, we'll come back out and get the pond done pretty soon.